Welcome back, everybody, to Morning Hype. So we've almost made it through the first week of 2022, and the entertainment tea is already hot and ready. Earlier this week, Tristan Thompson once again breaking the internet, first confirming he does in fact have a third child, and then publicly apologizing to Khloe Kardashian. I guess a public apology works, but Tristan, baby, we didn't ask for this. Did Khloe? Maybe Kris did? And we're still recovering from all the Antonio Brown news this week. He abruptly left the Bucks versus Jets game on Sunday. But to make matters worse, he was really wild in the rest of the week. First, making an appearance at the Nets game, then popping off at Tom Brady's trainer, and even releasing a song. A lot happening there with AB. Plus, he want to fight, he want to tussle. Jason Derulo literally fighting someone who confused him for Usher. Is this really how we're starting 2022? And it's not giving what it was supposed to give. In fact, it's not giving at all. The Golden Globes going without a host, no audience, and it won't even be broadcast. So joining me now, we've got extra TV correspondent Cheslie Kryst and also radio personality Young Jazz. Ladies, this week's tea is piping hot. So we're going to start with Khloe and Tristan. Yeah, we're going to start with Khloe and Tristan. Cheslie, should Khloe just be done with this man for good? I mean, she has to be, right?
I think we are begging this woman to be done with this man because he's stepped down on her in their relationship so many times at this point. This particular instance, he denied at first until the paternity test results came in. And so at this point, I think we all hope that Khloe moves on and does something great for her life. You know, she's doing great things in the entertainment space. She's got her own company. And so we're just hoping that like her romantic life will do well as well, because I think we've all been there where we're dating a toxic man who steps out on us. And we just want to see this woman happy and with a man who's faithful and loyal to her.
We are certainly rooting for her. Jazz, Tristan's statement, I don't know how you feel about it, but to me it was giving vibes that it was maybe written by Kris Jenner. Was this a forced apology, we think, or no?
I think it was definitely a forced apology. It was a needed apology because, like you said, we're all rooting for Khloe. And I think a lot of us felt secondhand embarrassment seeing Tristan do this to her yet again in the public eye. And it's like, I know it's keeping up with the Kardashians, but when it comes to Tristan and his cheating, we cannot keep up with him. So I feel like he had to do the apology. I mean, I hope it was as sincere as possible. I know he sent the roses to True, their daughter, right before the whole thing came out publicly. So I'm just hoping that Khloe finds happiness with somebody who can just be loyal to her. That's it.
Right. We are rooting for her. I mean, like you both have said, we've all been there. Me probably more times than I'd like to admit. But speaking of apologies, right? Twitter now calling on Khloe to apologize to Jordyn. We all remember Khloe said that Jordyn ruined her family back in 2019. So should Khloe be the next to apologize? Cheslie, what do you think?
I think we'd love to see that, but at this point, I hate seeing women pitted against each other. What I really want to see is men taking responsibility for their own actions and just being better men. Like, how many apologies have we seen from Tristan Thompson at this point? I want him to act better, and I think that that is where the focus should be, rather than us constantly saying, like, one woman should apologize to another or women should be better. Men should be better. We should expect more from them.
All right. Speaking of men, Antonio Brown, another one that's making a lot of headlines. He has had a crazy week. There's been so many plot twists with this. So, Jazz, what's your take after all is said and done? What do we think?
I think Antonio got way too bucked up. I think that what he did obviously was a big stunt that should never have happened. Now, the details are like a little brown, no pun intended, about what exactly happened. You know, like, was he actually injured? Did he actually inform the staff before? Are they saying it was another big stunt of his? And him releasing the song and, you know, acting crazy afterwards, that doesn't help make things any better either.
Right. Cheslie, is there anything you can add to the AB saga?
I couldn't hear Jazz at all, so I don't want to say anything that she's already said. But it is unfortunate, and really, I think at this point, what we hope to see is Antonio Brown getting some help, because I think that it's clear that, you know, he has some issues going on. Probably personally, and you know, I think CTE is one of those things that we worry about with football players nowadays. So I hope that he gets evaluated and hope that he gets the help that he needs.
Right. We'll be keeping an eye on him for sure. We'll switch gears now to Jason Derulo. So he's got it bad, right? After getting into a fight with somebody who thought he looked like Usher. So I want to ask you both first and foremost, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do we really think Jason Derulo even looks like Usher, right? Jazz, what do you think?
1. I give it a 1. That's it. I think that whatever the altercation was that happened in Vegas, because I watched the entire video where like he goes up the elevator and then he comes back down. So I feel like the guys in Vegas were definitely trolling Jason Derulo. And once he heard the Usher thing, he could not let it burn, and then shots were fired.
Chesley, what do you think?
Okay, well, I saw Jazz shaking her head no, so I would agree that they don't look alike. They do share the same skin tone, and they're both dancers. Other than that, I don't think that they look alike. But I think, from what I've read, it looked like whoever mistook Jason Derulo for Usher also cursed at Jason Derulo. So it seems like it wasn't just like the mistake of identity that seemed to be the issue. It really seemed to be a rude comment from somebody.
And we all know that when you go to Vegas, there's usually maybe some libations involved. So maybe that had something to do with it also.
I wouldn't put that past you.
Right. Our last topic we want to touch on is the Golden Globes. They're this weekend. We know there will be no host, no audience, and also it's not going to be broadcast. Do we think they should have maybe just postponed the show instead of doing it the way they're doing it? Jazz?
I think they absolutely should have postponed it, because the fact that it's not even being streamed is a huge red flag. Like, I think that there's enough going on this year. There's enough been going around, like, involving the Golden Globes when it comes to, trying to be more diverse, and now there's no host, no audience. So I think it definitely should have been postponed, or this year maybe just not happen at all.
Chesley?
I don't think that postponing it really would have changed anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw that the Golden Globes was dropped from NBC. They were receiving a ton of backlash because of the lack of diversity, also because of some issues with maybe some ethical issues with regard to who was getting paid for appearances. I just think that it was a rough mess last year, and a lot of award shows are dealing with it, but the Golden Globes specifically because of a number of issues that they've had behind the scenes. And so, no, I think that this was a great way to go, to just have a quieter Golden Globes than we've seen in years past, and then regroup the rest of the year and come back really strong, answering the issues that a lot of people have complained about.
For sure. The diversity being one of them. The Kardashians going to Hulu now with their show. That's one thing we want to touch on because we have a little bit more time. Are either of you tuning in? Chesley, we'll start with you on this one.
Oh, you got to. I mean, there are so many moments from Keeping Up with the Kardashians after they ended following 20 years of success that I saw and I remembered. Like Kim losing her earring in the water, her and Khloe going back and forth with each other, Kourtney and Kris at the table having these hilarious conversations. You gotta at least give the new show on Hulu, The Kardashians, a chance because it is hilarious.
Jazz?
I would have to agree. I feel like the Kardashians have been connected to us for so long. We have to keep up with them. I mean, the Tristan saga is going on live right now. Kylie is pregnant with baby number 2, as you can see in the trailer. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of tea. There's all the new babies, too, in the family. Like, I'm excited to see more of the children on there. We know Kanye allegedly moved across the street from Kim. So I feel like there's a lot of tea we got to keep up with still.
A lot of tea that we're keeping up with. Well, thank you both so much for joining us this morning, and a Happy New Year to you both. Thanks. All right.